Hi, I'm Brett Parker, multimedia specialist for Dairy Foods Magazine. And today we're speaking with Manisha Dhawan, Vice President of Applied Membranes. Manisha will be speaking at the upcoming Membrane Technology Forum in Minnesota with a focus on workforce development through membrane technology. And she's here with us today to shed some more light on this topic. Manisha, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Brett.
Can you give us a basic understanding of how membrane technology works?
Sure. You can think of a membrane like a filter, but it's a little bit different than that. It's like a specialized barrier. So, with a regular filter, water's flowing straight through, and particles or suspended solids are left behind and trapped in the filter. So, the filter is like a dead end filtration. However, with membranes, on the other hand, it operates more like cross flow filtration. So, you can get two streams from one stream. In the case of milk or liquid or water, so milk will flow over the membrane under pressure, and pure water will come on one end, and then you'll have concentrate on the other end. And oftentimes in dairy, that concentrate, milk concentrate, is very valuable. It can be used as a product. It can also be used to create other products like ice cream and cheese. So membranes can also work to not only concentrate, but to purify water. And that's very important in many industries, including ultra pure water for semiconductor, for pharmaceutical and power generation. So, really, two major goals are to purify and to concentrate. And of course, there are many different types of membranes and different applications. So, that's essentially how membrane works.
And how do you feel membrane technology could bring innovation and improvements to the dairy industry specifically?
Yeah, so membrane technology has been around for decades and it's been revolutionizing dairy since about the 70s. And there's many different processes that membranes can facilitate, like pre-concentrating milk, demineralizing, extending the stable shelf life of products, and even producing novel products in the dairy industry. So if you think about some of the innovations that are happening in dairy right now, and some of the trends include consumer preferences and behaviors are changing. They're looking at good for you products with functional benefits, transparency in the supply chain, and just new ways of using protein. So I think membranes can enable that and contribute to that. In addition, what we're seeing on our end is continued advancements in membrane technology, and then even the membrane systems, which we also build. So this includes just making processes more efficient, being able to treat and reuse wastewater streams so that dairy producers and operators and facilities are more sustainable, especially in water scarce regions. And yeah, I think improving the yield and the quality of the product. So, with advancements and innovations in membrane tech combined with what's happening in the dairy industry, I think we're going to see a lot of interesting things come forward. We're able to now, even, for example, push the boundaries on fouling and reduce fouling or improve recovery, improve flows. So all of that can also, produce gains for the dairy industry. We're really excited to be a part of it.
What kind of new job opportunities could be created in the dairy industry through membrane technology?
That's a great question. We see membrane unlocking new applications all the time. And, we think again, because it can facilitate the creation of these new products, as well as the equipment itself becoming more efficient and integrating new technology. So whether it's AI or being able to provide real-time data on the systems, dairy operators can potentially see not only new jobs, but the need for new skills. So that includes things like being able to interpret the data, being able to understand process engineering, system design, maintenance. If you think about, some dairy operators might have decentralized systems, so how do you integrate that data, assuming there's available data that's good? Some of this might come at a cost, so we have to evaluate the cost benefit. But from a job perspective, I just see the need for, even in R&D and material science and, food production, food science, biotechnology, sustainable manufacturing, these can emerge just as a direct result of innovation that's happening across the industries.
So going into the future, if the dairy industry were to initiate more membrane technology applications, what do you feel like the biggest upheaval in the industry would be after that?
I think, as membrane technology continues to improve and become even more efficient, and then becomes more widespread. I know a lot of producers are already using membrane technology, but as it becomes more widespread, as we evaluate, does it make sense to retrofit or upgrade plants or have new ones? Really looking at, for example, disruption in even just the water footprint. So conserving more water, being able to reuse that water for other processes within the plant or within the operations. And then again, disrupting, I think, traditional product lines and being able to introduce more health-focused categories, maybe even changing the from being able to customize products as well. So I think membranes are enabling that. But yeah, I think being more efficient, more cost effective, that will just have the technology be more available to these producers so they can eventually, take advantage of these benefits and have more sustainable operations.
Well, speaking of benefits, how do you feel the dairy industry can best prepare for the future of work through membrane technology applications?
Yeah, this is another good question. I think we need people who are trained for sure and who really understand the application and the limitations too, and the proper use of these technologies. Even when we introduce new tech or integrate with, AI or really start to leverage the data, I believe the benefits of the technology still won't be fully achieved without people. So we need to upskill and train people, understand how the technology is going to be applied, correctly apply it to achieve the results that are needed. And I think we also need to have agency in our own desire to learn. So being able to provide those training tools and investing in training for our teams, but then as individuals, taking on that responsibility and ownership to learn these new tools. So for me, from my perspective, I think it's about improving productivity, but also product quality and positioning the dairy industry as a leading player and continuing to add value to the entire food chain and ecosystem.
Well, it all sounds fascinating. But that's all the time that we have for today. Manisha Dhawan of Applied Membranes, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for watching.